Pepegas on ice versus Deny Defend Dehaka in Div C. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and HOTS fans everywhere. Today, we're going to have a replay cast of Pepegas on Ice versus Deny Defend Dehaka here in Div C of the NGS. So, we're going to hop into this match. We're going to have a quick look at the drafts before we get started into the game. Then we'll introduce our teams and watch and see what happens. So these teams have decided to ban Pepegas on Ice banned Alterac, Pass, and Tomb of the Spider Queen, whereas Deny Defend Dehaka banned Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis Holdout. Deny Defend Dehaka, as much as they love alliteration, they seem to hate maps that start with the letter B, but they also banned both maps that are small two-lane maps, and if the character in their title is any indication, it seems they like larger macro maps. Now, Tomb of the Spider Queen, also a very small map banned by Pepegas on Ice. The Alterac span one of the larger maps on this in our map pool for Season 19. So we're going to end up seeing the first battle being on Volskaya Foundry, a map with a large Volskaya protector point to defend until you get it to 100%. This often leads to big team fights, and there are item camps around the map. Each side has their own turret camp to take, where they can get a turret they can set up afterward, as well as a neutral heal beacon camp in the middle. As well, each side in the top lane has a siege camp that is situated on their own side of the map to send towards their opponents. So without any further ado, let us have a quick look as we pop in game. We'll have a quick look at the drafts of each of these teams, and then we'll introduce our teams and get going. So on the blue side, we've got Pepegas on Ice, and they've drafted Johanna, Zagara, Anduin, Blaze, and Thrall. They have a triple frontliner comp here. Blaze, Thrall, and Savannah all very good at helping control wave control, pushing the waves towards their opponent, getting lane prio. And they're all kind of able to do some decent things in terms of area control as well. Zagara's, when done well, Zagara's creep can really control vision in an area, and Blaze with his oil spills can control auto attacks and speed in an area, and Thrall's W's can just root people in an area, plus Johanna being an excellent area tank. And if anyone does misposition, Anduin very good at helping people get into a safer position. On our other team, we have a Varian, Tychus, Stukov, Leoric, Chromie comp. Now this is a deadly blow-up comp. Varian, Stukov can lock people in place, and the Chromie W's will rain down. Add an Entomb to that after 10, and Tychus' ability to burn down the Blaze Johanna Thrall. They're going to be looking to kill people quickly. Just blow them up, get a numbers advantage, and then push out. Now, on the other hand, the draft that the blue team has taken is going to allow them, even if they lose a character, to just immediately push off into lanes and push out, and they might be able to do more damage than if they'd captured the Volskaya Protector in the first place. So that's something red team is going to have to watch for, is they don't just get pushed out of this game, as outside of Chromie Leoric, their wave clear is pretty meh. But without any further ado, let's get into this game, introduce our teams, and watch some amazing Div C Heroes of the Storm in NGS Season 19. In the blue trunks, on this side of the boxing match, we have Pepegas on Ice. Tomgin playing Johanna, Sylphrenia on Zagara, Muidar on Anduin, Peas on Blaze, and Raptor on Thrall. For the red side, we've got Arrow on Varian, Arthanau on Tychus, Lulu on Stukov, Whole Foods Leoric, and Warwolf playing Chromie. Level 1s, we got Flashlight for Johanna, Lightwell as opposed to Even-Handed on Anduin, the Adrenaline Stimpack, and the Rolling Thunder. We've got Lion's Maw on the Varian, so standard tank build, Quarterback, Low Blow, Ossian Renewal, and the Vision talent for Chromie that was recently buffed, giving her the ability to hit those Qs with even more impunity. We've got the Corpse Feeders Room Zagara, so going a bit into this E build for her, and we're getting started. So just some of the early game ordinary poke, the wave clear, and I suspect we'll see a bit of a 1-3-1 concept from our blue team Pepegas. So most of these talents fairly standard across these characters. Now Johanna here disrupting the rotation of the red team. Our offlaner is going to be Blaze in this particular setup, as we have the 4-man Thrall. And now that they've cleared the wave, they're just going to push bottom. A very good Lion's Fang there from the Varian to kill the... And that's going to be big too. Killing the creep that Zagara has will deny them vision and deny her safety, as she does get movement speed and later she can get armor on that creep. Leo and Blaze, I would say they have fairly equivalent wave clear. This matchup in the 1v1 basically comes down to, does Leo land good Ws and does Blaze get out of them fast enough? If both characters have played perfectly, I would argue Leo wins this matchup, but again, it really is a skill matchup. as the jet propulsion is used there to get away from the W of Leoric, the Drain Hope. In the mid lane, we see, again, a lot of really good wave clear heroes here for the blue team, but they are being pressured by the damage and the aggression of the red team here. Tomgan moves up. Arrow does jump on him, but the Unstoppable is popped immediately. Diamond Skin there on Johanna. I think it's Diamond Skin. Hope I'm saying it right. Anyway, if I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me, and I always appreciate good feedback. So we do have the time trap here, giving them a sense of vision, but both teams just safely rotating. Right now, they seem to be desyncing each other's waves so that they're not just in an all-out four-person brawl. And getting poke on the Thrall doesn't mean that much because he'll be able to use his passive trait to get health back pretty fast. Plus, Anduin's throughput is pretty darn strong. It looks like they're going to go for their siege camp here just before, and Chromie's starting their siege camp as well. So both teams are going to try and get a siege camp going as the point comes up, and the multiple time traps here means Chromie's trying to keep an eye on ingress points to the command point. We got Master Assassin for Tychus, so likely going into an Odin build here, and Odin is very strong on this map. We do have the Envenomed Spine give Zagara a sudden burst to go along with her otherwise a strong push. Oh, it's Iron Skin. Sorry, not Diamond Skin. Iron Skin from Johanna. The increased time here. And we have the Piercing Light for Anduin's Chastise. Other than that, we've got the Brave Frostwolf pack from the Thrall here, believing he can hit 6 in a row. So the team is going to push out. Pepegas and Ice is going to push out their opponent's siege camp here to let theirs push for free. But Chromie is in the wings to deny that. Her mount appears to recently have had a procedure and is not allowed to lick itself. They're going to go for this neutral camp, but Red Team has pulled all of their members here, and the taunt is now in. But with the triple front line, it's hard to pick exactly who you want. Anduin does get caught with the taunt, but nobody's able to finish off with all the distraction that Johanna and Thrall put in the front line there. So Frania gets very low on that Zagara, and Peas is having to get out. So they have to give up this healing beacon camp as they are pushed out by that in-tight damage of the Leo, the Tychus, and the Chromie. So again, they're going to go back to pushing, but at the moment they're not looking to contest the Volskaya Protector. So 55% there for our Deny Defend Dehaka team. He's again getting W, but uses jet propulsion to get out. Does not want to just feed all his hope / HP to Leoric. Arrow defending the point. And now Pepegas are considering coming in on here. The light well goes down and is healing up Tomgan and Muidar. And again, if any of these pronunciations are incorrect, feel free to make a comment or send me a message on Discord. The taunt does go down on Johanna. Now she pops the Iron Skin, but it's taking a lot of damage from the Tychus. Peas comes in from the bottom, and the heal beacon has been dropped to keep the red team higher up on health. A big silence, and Thrall is getting low. The temporal loop comes out. Raptar goes down on that Thrall, and Tomgan was at 97 health before getting healed by the Anduin. Almost dropped, but that means that the Protector is now down and is on the side of Deny Defend Dehaka. That ultimate coming out first for Chromie to get the loop, the temporal loop into the Stukov silence is going to make life difficult for any of the lower health targets, you know, Thrall, Zagara. On the side of Pepegas and Ice, they're going to have to play around that. They're going to have to be aware of its cooldown. So putting damage out on the Protector here. Zagara does go for the Bile Drop, so trying to hit her ease onto her opponents. And Thrall did, in fact, hit all of his Frostwolf pack W, so he no longer has to worry about losing those with a miss. So they're jumping onto the Stukov here. The taunt does go down on Tomgan. Raptor trying to get more damage out, but is unable to at the moment. The Protector comes back and is punching. Now, one of the slight mercies here is that Chromie is in there, and so her particular brand of oppression is not available to Deny Defend Dehaka at this time, but they do hit 10s first with Odin, Flailing Swipe, Entomb coming out. And the Entomb is dropped on Tomgan, and Tomgan is taking so much damage. Johanna gets pulled out the last minute, but the Temporal Loop is on her, and she's going to get pulled back. They just managed not to hit all the spells, though, and Tomgan lives anyway. Wow, and if you're Deny Defend Dehaka, you've got to feel a little bit sheepish that you had her right there at about 400 health and couldn't quite land the spells you needed to finish her off. And that's actually going to give this blue team... Now, the Blessed Shield comes out and misses. Here comes the Light Bomb, and it only stuns Varian. Tompkins still quite low, and the Flailing's Wipe comes out to push people back. The Maw lands on nobody. And so both teams have used a lot of resources to really not accomplish very much. Or you could argue they've used resources and the team has managed to defend themselves valiantly. So, you know, it's all about perspective. Arrow looking to hit Dragon's Fangs to clear out these creep pods, but there still are two here to help with rotations. The gate is down on the top side, and they're looking to pressure up here. Now here comes the purple puddle. And they have got about now at 10% damage on the fort in the top lane here. Blaze is double soaking. Leo is in the bot lane, and they are doing the offlaner things. I don't know why I do that in a German accent. It's just, and there's the offlaners doing the offlaner things, you know, just being efficient. It's like a German. Tomgen gets taunted, but pops the iron skin. There's a lot of damage, and the purple puddle goes down. The Lulu's follow-ups on the taunts haven't been quite as sharp as you would hope for. It hasn't been just instantaneous, but I think as the game goes on, it'll get a bit tighter. Excuse me. So we have seen pretty much all the ults on both sides now. Thrall did go Sundering as opposed to Earthquake. We do see the Blessed Shield and the Maw, so this is not a macro Zagara. This is a Zagara that wants to take part in team fights. And we do get the shield wall, so the full protected status for Varian when he pops his W. Thrall is taking the turret camp in the bottom. Blaze is being pestered by Werewolf's Chromie. And he gets out just in time to not be taunted by Arrow's Varian. Deny Defend Dehaka is taking their siege camp on the right side here. But the blue team wants to get a full engage here. The Stace is out, but the Blessed Shield instead hits the gate, and now Chromie gets caught in it. But some of these ults are anti-synergistic. Chromie still goes down to the Maw, but she gets missed by a number of skills because the Maw came out. So they're going to have to communicate a little better if they don't want to waste some of these big cooldowns. But still, a good gank, a good kill on Chromie, and that is going to help them have a lot more pressure on the map as they take the healing beacon as well as take their own siege camp. Now, the siege camp at this point, with the point at the top, has a little less value since the team can clear it and fight the point. But now we're looking for the reverse gank, but Peas gets out again before they're able to land that Varian taunt on him. Chromie is back in the game, and Leo is bottom, making sure that his gate... Ooh, it's fairly low there, but this gate is gone. Which is why wave prio is important, viewers. Try to make sure your waves are pushing harder than your opponent's waves, especially when you have to leave that lane for an objective. Again, another good Lion's Fang clears the creep here in the middle. Sofrenia takes the grenade. And blue team, again, at this moment, is ceding control of the point to Deny Defend Dehaka. And for now, they just seem to be patiently waiting, looking for an opportunity. Tomgen is clearing out mid, again, getting that priority because the gate is quite low. Whereas it seems like Deny Defend Dehaka is looking to get a taunt. But Pepegas on ice, really good sustain. Anduin has excellent healing, and it doesn't cost him a lot, especially with things like healing well. Oh, there's the early engage. Here comes the Sundering, and the Maw comes down. The Light Bomb is going to go off and hit him again, but Varian uses the Protector to keep himself alive. Peas is taking a lot of damage and has to drop the bunker. The Entomb comes out, but it's in the middle of the bunker, so it's not getting as much. But they have to walk backward into the silence, and Anduin has to use that pull. Raptor gets caught and killed on the throw, but Varian is taking a lot of damage, down to about 300 health. Peas with a huge charge, and they finish off. The Flailing Swipe pushes Peas into the big damage of the W from Tychus's Odin. And now we've got a 4-on-4 with the main tank dead on the red team side, as well as the Thrall dead on the side of Pepegas on ice. Now, Arthanau doing a lot of melting to Tomgen's Joe here, but Peas the good 3-man stun and also drops the oil slick here. So So we're going to see that they're going to be contesting. It's 99% for the red team for this Volskaya Protector, but now they're going to back up. With no tank, they have to be careful that they don't get caught up, but Varian and Thrall are both going to be rejoining this fight momentarily in about 6 seconds. But for now, control of the point is Pepegas on ice to lose. So they're going to lock down the Leoric here. He doesn't even use his E, he just walks out. The Skeleton King is not afraid of you. Raptor, they get silenced again, and a good follow-up there. Johanna comes in from behind, and the Drain Hope misses. But Whole Foods does drop, and the pull has to come out from the Entomb on Sylphrenia. 16s are in place now for our blue team, and I think that the red team is going to try and soak their own first instead of getting... But here comes the Blessed Shield, the knockback. The Anduin Light Bomb doesn't hit anybody, but the entire red team is so low. Chromie in that stasis, but Stukov goes down, Chromie goes down, Odin is dropped, Whole Foods is coming in, but he was in the mid lane clearing. And so now it's a 2-for-0 on the side of Pepegas on ice. 16s are going to come in now for Deny Defend Dehaka, but that's just a little bit late, and Varian is quite low also. Arthur now losing the Odin before the Protector comes down means he's not going to have to de-push what this Protector can do. Now, there's no gate there. The gate has been destroyed in the bottom. There's a huge wave there, and the gate is pretty much gone in the middle, meaning wherever they take this Protector, as long as they don't make a big mistake, they're liable to get a fort here. And so, again, both teams taking a bit of a moment. The Protector is given over to Pepegas on ice. Raptor pushed back by the grenade. We're seeing here from Leo the E-build. We've seen all kinds of different Leos today across different divisions. Oh, some good attacks there. Arthur goes very low to the Protector damage, and he has to... Oh, he doesn't get put... He doesn't E out. He actually gets pushed out by the palm, the stunning palm there of the Protector. There's enough there to push back. Now, Raptor is caught in the temporal loop. He's pulled, but the pull is mistimed, and so Raptor is pulled back, and he has to get pulled again. He doesn't get no. Werewolf is extremely low. 200 up. The Sundering finishes her off. Big hit from Raptor. Revenge for that hit. Oh, and there is the Light Bomb stun on Varian. The Protector comes out. Here comes Flailing Swipe, but a stun means the third hit of Flailing Swipe doesn't come out. Varian goes down. The Protector is down, but Lulu Stukov is not where Stukov wants to be, getting targeted down by that throw. The Maw prevents Leoric from getting any value from that Entomb. The top fort goes down. They've lost 3-for-0. All of a sudden, Pepegas on ice are controlling every fight in this game, as Blaze was in the bot lane taking down a fort himself and putting pressure on the keep wall. It's hard to put your finger on exactly what, but there's just a few of these fights that were very, very close, and all of a sudden, an advantage was found by different members of this team from Pepegas on ice. Some of Muidar's pulls have been exactly what you need. Sometimes you're seeing a perfect Maw or a perfect Sundering, but the different members of the team have been using their ultimates to support each other or finish a kill, and it's been just enough to turn the tide in their favor. And now they've got a full 2-level lead. They're about to hit 20s, probably a full minute at least before their opponents do. Now, Deny Defend Dehaka is trying to chase down this Blaze. Blue team trying to turn it into a trap, though. Whole Foods goes in. Peas is taking so much damage, but he drops the bunker, and that is a bait. He gets out. Tomkin gets taunted, but here comes a Light Bulb, and it's going to go down. Whole Foods is low. There's the protection on the Varian. Whole Foods goes down on the Leoric. So much damage on Arrow, though, where the temporal loop is coming out, but Chromie is stunned, and it doesn't go through, from what I can tell. Arthur now gets taken down on the Tykes, and Peas is still chasing Stukov. There's the stun. Wormwolf looking to try and give some damage back while this happens. There's the pull. Lulu looks like they might come out safe, but Tomkin is not going to allow this to happen, chasing both Werewolf and Lulu. So far it's a 3-for-0, but Stukov's going to go down as well, and it's a 4-for-0. Blaze pushing this towards the mid fort, but the rest of Pepegas on ice pushing for a keep here. Sylphrenia's Banelings and her Hydralisk are able to tank when they don't have a wave, but they do happen to have a wave with them at the time. Whole Foods is back to life, and Werewolf does have excellent wave clear. But Werewolf is going to have to be careful. Chromie cannot handle being engaged upon, and there are some strong engaged tools from Pepegas on ice. But they are going to take this keep, and then they're going to back off. as everyone but Stukov is back up for deny, defend, Dehaka. So Johanna helping with the wave clear here. They're going to put pressure on this mid fort, and it's going to go down very, very quickly at this point in the game. 20s are out. We've got the Blessed Shield upgrade, Pack Instinct, Censure, Burn Notice, and World Breaker. Now, Temporal Loop comes down on Blaze, but he drops the bunker, and that saves his life. The Maw comes out, and so does the Sundering. We see the Light Bomb here. They're putting it on Arthur now. Tyke is way too far forward, and he goes down on that fight. Even with the Silence Bubble, this team, Pepegas on Ice, just able to split apart and still be so effective in their damage. And so they're going to put pressure now on the middle fort gate while catapults are gathering. Here comes the Entomb. Now, the Entomb has got the dirty puddle at the bottom of it, but they are fighting a 5v4, and they're not able to do enough damage to outdo Muidar's healing on Anduin. And without that 20 Silence Entomb, the members of Pepegas on Ice inside the Entomb were able to defend themselves just fine. They're going to steal away the siege camp from Deny Defend Dehaka, who are looking to get 20s of their own, but they're still a full level away. We have the Piercing Sands from Chromie, so those Qs are going to do even more damage. And don't make the mistake of thinking this game is over. You can never count out Varian, Stukov, Chromie comp. They have the ability to blow people up, but the tools on the far side with the Maw delaying fights and the bunker delaying fights have done a good job to prevent this pick comp from turning fights just into a 5v4 immediately. So a good draft to somewhat deny the Stukov variant from Pepegas on Ice. Raptor is getting targeted by the keep, but it doesn't matter. He's able to sustain up. Now they're looking to take another fight before their opponents get 20, and Pepegas on Ice are going hard. Out comes the Blessed Shield, out comes the Light Bomb, and Varian is dead. Artha now trying to do extra damage, but Chromie gets targeted and taken down. The Flaming Swipe comes out from Lulu, but she's going to go down also. Sorry, assuming Lulu's female, that's not fair. Hofu does drop the Entomb, but again, it's not the Buried Alive. And so he's going to take a ton of damage to go down. Artha now is the only member of Deny Defend Dehaka left, and even with the Odin, he doesn't have what it takes to kill all 5 members. Just incredible team fight after incredible team fight from Pepegas on Ice, and they're going to take game 1. GG. So what we had there was honestly a thrilling fight on a map designed for thrilling fights. But as it started to snowball, it ended up pretty much completely in the hands of Pepegas on Ice. They got that 20 advantage really early, almost at 2 full levels ahead, and then they abused that advantage over and over on the members of Deny Defend Dehaka. The bunker was used very, very well, repeatedly, as the Maw was used, sometimes not even to catch people out, but just to create space in the middle, making it hard for the Varian engage, for the Leo to have room to come in. And because they were able to control the members of Deny Defend Dehaka, they were able to kill them, and they were able to prevent this Varian Stukov Chromie blow-up from doing what they wanted it to do. So, Sophrenia Zagara actually being top damage in game. Now, some of that's just because she managed to stay alive the whole time, but the Envenom Spiked Burst, getting the Vial drops, which, yes, she finished, and just being able to pour on damage while being protected by this bulky frontline that could put out damage of its own. And we see game 1 going over to Pepegas on Ice as they just showed themselves to be, in this particular game with these particular comps, the superior team fight comp. So, game 1 does go to Pepegas on Ice, but we've got game 2 to go, and one wonders if Deny Defend Dehaka can come back in this, then maybe we'll see a game 3 also. So game 2 is going to be on Infernal Shrines. Always a fun map to spectate. So Infernal Shrines is a map where you kill minions in an attempt to get yourself a Punisher. There are 3 different kinds of Punisher, and they all like to jump on your opponents and punch them and punch their buildings if there's no one to punch in the face. the three kinds of Punishers are Mortar, Arcane, and Frozen, and you kind of want Frozen because it turns buildings off and it can root your opponents. If they get caught with a jump and then a root, they can be in really dire position if your team doesn't have a cleanse of some sort. This is another map that can lead to team fights, but the team fights aren't, maybe we could say they're not quite as necessary on this map because you can kind of back off and still try to use ranged abilities to kill the minions required to get a Punisher. But we often do see team fights on the shrines as teams try to give themselves the best positioning to clear out the minions, get the protector, and then siege with it. There are two sets of camps on each side, a bruiser for the top lane and a siege for the mid lane, and then there's a neutral siege camp at the bottom that teams in the early game will often attempt to get a kill or a gank or something that gives them the pressure that lets them take that bottom camp without being ganked while doing so. So let's get into this game and have a quick look at these drafts before we pop into seeing who gets game 2 here. So our blue team, Pepegas on Ice, has drafted Muradin, Falstad, Brightwing, Leoric, and Tassadar. So the double global is what jumps out at me first here. Falstad and Brightwing being able to give them potentially leads or wave prio before they get into a shrine fight. And again, Brightwing is a great pick. If your Brightwing has the minimap DLC installed, they can be very helpful to an offlaner who's maybe being tied in a fight or is baiting weakness in a fight, can kind of pop in and help you kill the opposing offlaner. So double globals does give them the opportunity to create an advantage anywhere on the map at kind of any time. Muradin is just an excellent all-around tank, can trade well, can jump out. Later on in the game, he can glue himself to your damage dealer, to the opposing team's damage dealers, and annoy the crapple out of you. And he can 1v1 damage dealers too. He can be very frustrating in the highest levels, in the 18, 20, 22. And then Leo, of course, just an excellent soaker, great on the shrine, the shrine to collect minions, and Tassadar also just amazing at clearing out the shrine. So they've got very quick clear, great global presence, just a strong overall draft from the blue team, in my opinion. Over on the red team, we're seeing double bruiser, no tank. So Blaze is looking like the main tank here. Good stuns, but once he goes in, he can't really get out until he has bunker. We're seeing the Stukov again. Sonya, pretty impressive, also good on shrine, decent in lane, and with a lot of fight presence. And then Hanzo and Orphea, in a sense, both mages. They have ability to do a fair amount of clear on the shrine as well. They also have a fair amount of ability, making them hard to chase down and kill, especially with a Stukov putting silence around, so it's hard to chase them down. This looks like a team that wants to find someone in a choke, stun them with Blaze, or stun them with Leap, then follow up with Blaze, and get an Orphea crushing Jaws or a big Hanzo arrow. This is a big wombo composition. My one worry is in the last game, they kind of struggled to force Pepegas on Ice into a position where they could wombo, but the Hanzo arrow does make that setup a little easier to do from a distance. So being able to Hanzo arrow, follow that up with a leap, follow it up with a blaze jet propulsion, and then finish with a crushing jaw, or just have an eternal feast from Orphea going the whole time, and that could really give them the opportunity to push this to a game 3. That's our draft analysis, so let's get this game started and introduce our teams. Hello, Vanderwagen and Piesel. In the blue trunks on the blue side, we have Pepegas on Ice, Tomgan playing Muradin, Raptor on Falstad, Muidar on Brightwing, Peas playing Leoric, and Sylphrenia on the Tassadar. On the red side, wearing red pants, a red shirt, a red hat, and red eyes. Might they be evil? Who knows? They seem to be serving the evil side. We have Defend Dehaka, Stukov being played by Lulu, Blaze being played by Arrow, Whole Foods is on Sonya, Arthanal on Orfeo, and Hanzo being played by Warwolf. And if his ability to hit Chromie skill shots means anything, his Hanzo should be frightening as well. Now this is a redemption Hanzo. We're not seeing the W Hanzo, we're seeing auto attack Hanzo, which is a bit risky because every time you die, your power level goes down again. But it can make a sustained fight with him very frustrating. And again, if they're looking for the big wombo with the arrow, the blaze stun, the Sonya leap, if they're looking for big wombo that locks people in place for a while, especially with squishy opponents like Brightwing and the Falstad, an auto attack Hanzo can be absolutely deadly at chunking people out. Now, interestingly enough, we're not seeing the off-lane Adrenaline Stimpak from Blaze. We're seeing the Unstoppable, so this is a tank Blaze build. Low blow as normal and Ancestral Strength. We're seeing an auto attack build. And again, Muradin doing Mura things, slowing down rotations, annoying the enemy team, being a dwarf with a weapon on each hand who still does less damage than a Brightwing. Riddle me that, Batman. And the offlaners all doing offlaner things. Although P's putting a lot of pressure on Whole Foods' Asanya there. On the other side, we're seeing the third win from Muradin. Just an excellent, excellent skill, especially in a team-oriented sort of composition. If in solo queue it's good, but with a team I find it's even better. Just taking a moment to catch your breath, you don't even need heals. And often when I play with good Muradins, I say, don't waste your heals on me. Let me third wind it. They're going to jump in, but Arthur now manages to dodge the Stormbolt there. We've got Hammerang, Gathering Storm, Falstad. They look like they're going to gank on Whole Foods here. Are they able to get the kill here? They're going to put all their pressure on the Draining Hope and the Lightning. Yes, it's just enough. Raptor takes a lot of damage, but he doesn't die, and he gets the kill on... Well, he gives Leo the kill on that Sonya. As Orphea's going to go up to get the rest of that soak. In the bot lane... Oh, they've got Lulu all by herself, but the Q misses from Tassadar. Oh, they have to heal Tomgan. Oh, Sylphrenia probably kicking herself just a little bit. That Q was so close. So we've got W build Tassadar, very good at keeping up mana in longer team fights. Hyper Shift Brightwing as per normal, and Ossian Renewal again as per normal. So, both teams are going to take a bit of a breath. Now, they haven't gotten a kill, but Dehaka is going to try to take this bottom camp. This can be very risky to do. It's kind of like a miniature version of the boss throw. There is a stun. Orphea takes a lot of damage. She has a very small health pool. Here comes the silence. It looks like Falstad might go to... No! Raptor gets the E just in time, and Muidar is going to phase shift onto him. And positioning themselves for that camp did, in fact, leave them in a risky position. Once again, P is just putting a ton of pressure on Whole Foods here, who has to be careful. Everyone is in the bot lane. If Whole Foods dies, they're going to lose minion wave experience, and they do not want to do that. So, this camp does go over to Pepegas on ice. And we see that the mid train is started by Defend Dehaka as they grab position here. So again, they don't have a traditional tank early on. Blaze isn't a terrible tank, but he's not your traditional tank, and he's going to be strongest after 10 once he has Bunker. So I wouldn't be surprised early on if they look more to kind of pressure here, but maybe back out and then defend the Punisher. I think what they really, really want is 10 with this composition. Not that it can't be successful pre-10, but I think most of their strength, like Sonya Leap, like Crushing Jaws or Eternal Feast. Oh, but here, I'm saying this, but they put down the puddle after the big stun from Blaze, and Tomgan and Peas have to back out. They're taking a lot of damage. So Frenia over here just free farming minions, and even though they didn't start this, they are ahead 23-11 on the minions here. Tomgan's third wind kicks in, and he's full health again. He also tapped here. 24-19. They're very, very close in the race here. Falstad is flying in now. And there, another wall in silence. Arrow's taking a lot of damage. The Blaze goes down. Tomkin jumps out just before he dies. Leo's taking a ton of damage, and they do kill Peas with the auto attack from the Orphea, pardon me. Arthanel's Orphea doing a lot of damage. They kill Brightwing as well, and they turned what was a 1-kill deficit into 2 kills for their team, giving them the lead. And they are able to capture this Arcane Punisher. Although there's so much damage on Arthanel, he does go down. Warwolf finishing now his stacks, and he manages to kill Tomgan's Muradin with the auto attacks of Redemption. Lulu very low in the back. So they're not going to be able to siege with this because their healer is not alive. So they're going to have to be patient. They're going to have to let this Arcane Punisher go in. Lulu did tap, so now they're going to be patient. When is the Punisher going to jump? And upon whom? Jumps onto the Falstad, who has a fairly small health pool, and he gets punched in the face a bunch by Steve, the angry Punisher. This gate goes down. We have Sonya and Peas on the top again. And again, both teams are content to fall back to their siege camps and take them. We have about a half-level lead, even with the kills from the red team. Pepegas on Ice does have a half-level lead, and they should be hitting 10s first before the next phase, the next Immortal phase, the next Shrine phase. So it's interesting to see if they'll try to go for a big fight before that. They're going to jump onto Lulu Stukov, but she manages to get behind the gate before they go down. Lulu from League keeps making me think that Lulu is female. If you're not female, Lulu, I deeply apologize for how Lulu just makes my brain think I should use the pronouns she. They're going to double orb this. Tomkin's just going to jump in and look to get the stun on Lulu again. They are 10 first, so they're going to try and take advantage of this, but a good stun from Arrow. He does get pushed away, and the Entomb is dropped down, so no one can come to help him. The purple puddle is there. Arrow is not going to be able to get out of it. Takes so much damage. The bunker comes out, and out comes a Dragon Arrow, and the Eternal Feast is there as well. Raptor takes so much damage. Arrow does jet propulsion out. Is he going to live? He gets hit by the Storm Bolt. He's taking so much damage from the Tassadar W, but now so much damage going on to Peas and Sylphrenia. Peas goes down, Tomkin goes down, and again, Deny Defend Dehaka is doing a really good job of taking a fight that isn't in their advantage to start with and turning it around. And it seems like Pepegas on Ice is going to have to find a way to capitalize on when they get ahead in a fight. Because right now, they're selling out to get a kill, but it's leaving them in a position where they sell out to get the kill, but then everyone's at low health, and the final hits are finishing them off. So we've got Avatar, Gust, Blink Heal, Entomb, and Black Hole. So no Archon from our Tassadar. He won't be melting himself down and turning himself into a new shiny body with another Templar. On the other side, we've got Flailing Swipe, Bunker, Leap, Eternal Feast, and the Dragon Arrow from Hanzo. They do take this neutral again. They're going to jump in on Wormwolf, but he doesn't even have to use his Leap to get out of there. A big heal from Lulu puts him back to full health, and the damage follow-up from the side of Pepegas on Ice is not quite enough. Now, later in the game, as the game goes, we will see more damage from Leo and from... Oh, there's the Entomb. It's going to be on Wormwolf, and they don't have the cover. Oh, the teleport coming in. Is it going to be enough? It is, but P still goes down to the Lowbro from the Stukov Puddle. As we watch the arrow just go right off the mini-map. Big push here from Whole Foods on the top. As I was saying, Leo and Mura will do more damage as the game goes on, but Falstad can do a fair amount of damage, but is more of a utility damage than pure damage. And Tassadar's damage is very much bursty. Once W and Q are down, Tassadar has to wait about 4 seconds to be any particular danger in a team fight. So this team really needs to be together as 5, and they need to wait a little bit for their damage to scale up if they don't get the blow up immediately. So the Bruiser Camp was taken by Deny Defend Dehaka. The Bruiser Camp is being taken by Pepegas on Ice. But because they did it first, Deny Defend Dehaka does have Prio on the Shrine. And they have 13s first as well, which does give them a spike in power. But Pepegas on Ice is going to answer that back right away. He's possibly was considering an Entomb, so Werewolf just took the safe jump out, but now he doesn't have the jump out, and the Entomb does come out on Werewolf, and his jump is down already. The Eternal Feast does come out, and so does the Puddle. Peas is taking a lot of damage, a huge stun there, 3-man stun, but the Black Hole comes out, and for the moment saves Peas. Hanzo goes down, Tomkin taking a lot of damage and pops his Avatar to keep himself alive, and both teams taking a lot of damage. Arthur takes a lot of damage there, and does go down to the Tassadar spells. And again, once they can make the fight last a little bit longer, and the Murden lasting a long time there with the Avatar, the longer-term damage of Pepegas on Ice started turning that fight around. Now, Pisa is going to be up a lot faster than the 2 members of Deny Defend Dehaka, which is going to make this a 5-on-3 for the moment. So even though they're ahead 27-17, Red Team does not look like they're willing to try and invade to get the 13 more they need. And in fact, they're going to have to see this. Hanzo does lose 3 stacks of his redemption, meaning his power level is going to be a little down as he first comes back here. Seeing if he can get a W or a Q in there to kill a couple, but they're not able to. And the Frozen Punisher, many consider this the strongest Punisher, is now out on the side of Pepegas on Ice as they attack this top fort. It's going to be a 5-on-5 siege. No, Leo's going. The jump is out onto the Blaze. He pops Unstoppable. He takes so much damage as the wall goes down, and he's forced to just walk around it. Unstoppable does not stop terrain from being a pain in your keister. So Franny is tanking the fort right now, takes 3 turret shots. The jump comes out onto 3, and it's so much damage that Tompkin follows it up with Arrow with a good stun followed by the bunker. Arthur now taking a lot of damage, and Werewolf takes some big damage from that Q. Arrow is getting chunked out now. Out comes the Dragon Arrow in the attempt to save, and the Flailing Swipe. But he takes so much, he gets Polymorph. Is Arrow going to go down? Yes, Tompkin managed to finish him off. There's a 3rd jump. This Punisher is doing more CC than the entire team of Pepegas on ice. As it just continues to jump on people. And they're not keeping the jump counter in their head, the timer in their head, and it cost them it cost them at least their main tank in that fight, as Leo's also been pushing this bot lane out. And Pepegas on Ice is going to rotate to this mid lane and try to put pressure on it, but Deny Defend Dehaka is here to deny and defend, and maybe even Dehaka, I don't know. I don't know if that's a verb, but it could be. Tompkin just punching that thing with his hammer, because, you know, dwarves like to break things. And they like cameras. Dwarves are neat. We see the phase shift coming in onto Tompkin from Muidar. And this fort is down to, I would say, let's call that 10% or so. Hanzo, Werewolf, using the vision arrow to see if Pepegas on Ice does want to capture that camp, but with that feint, they managed to get enough damage to take that fort out. They faked they were going to rotate away and then came back as soon as the pressure wasn't here and took the fort. Clever little play there from Pepegas on Ice, giving them the 16 advantage, and during this time, there's been so much damage put on the bottom fort by Leoric. It's down to maybe 15% of its main health. And now the team is 5 here, pushing forward. They did manage to seal the siege camp in the middle there, and now they're going to siege up with a level and a half advantage over Deny, Defend, Dehaka. So we see the bottom fort go down. That's a 3-4 lead for Pepegas on Ice. They're going to back out now. No sense in making this risky. They're going to take the siege camp in the bottom just to deny that experience and have pressure going up this lane. Leo's going to go back to doing off-lane things. And Sonya's up here also doing off-lane things. And you gotta appreciate some good off-lane things. We see a 4-man rotate here to the Bruiser camp from Deny Defend Dehaka. Peas looks like he's set eyes on it. They're looking to invade. Well, they still have the 16 advantage. The bunker goes down immediately, but here comes the Entomb on the Stukov. The Eternal Feast is dropped. Peas has to back out. Tompkin just jumps into the back line. He doesn't care. Lulu with the Flailing Swipe does save her life, and now this fight is all over the place. The Dragon Arrow comes out. The point is being contested. There's a big silence. The Gus pushes Lulu away, which does stop the purple puddle, but Blue team has lost this fight. They've lost 2 heroes, and they had to give that camp up. A strong invade, but 16 was reached fairly early into that fight by Deny Defend Dehaka, and it gave them the opportunity to turn that around. And it was such a split fight. Ults everywhere, fighting everywhere. And this, again, you can never just assume that a game is over, getting close to over. Any team at any time can make a risky play, and if your team works together, you can turn it around. Unless you're playing Storm League and, you know, someone is just trolling you on purpose. Then you weep. Weep gently. This is why NGS is such an amazing product to both play and to watch. And, of course, for me, to cast. So there's still about a 1-level lead here for Pepegas on Ice. They're hoping to hit 21st. On the flip side, Deny Defend Dehaka would like to have a team fight prior to 20. Arrow being very patient here. He does land the stun on Dehaka. There's the silence. He's not able to use ease, and Peas goes down. The purple puddle once again producing a lot of value for this Stukov. Here comes the Dragon Arrow. It does hit 3. It traveled a good distance. Here comes Whole Food with the leap, but they're not able to finish anyone off from that. Tompkin is going to run up. The Black Hole does a lot of damage and offers a lot of control on Arthur now there, as Peas is just trying to provide slows with his ghostly skeletal swings. But it's 19 to 16. It's 20 now. So Frenia is still trying to find ways to land Qs and Ws on these minions, but they're going to have to back off. Being down their offlaner is going to make it difficult for this fight, and they don't have any disengage tools at the moment. The Gust is down for 20 more seconds, and this is going to be, I think, a Mortar Punisher. Here comes the Arrow stun. They're going to engage 5v4 as Peas is coming up. The Entomb goes down. Stukov is killed. Sonya goes down. The Bunker is down also, but now they're putting damage onto Wormwolf here. He jumps over, but the Drain Hope stays connected and kills him. Arthur now is getting stunned again by Tom, putting a lot lot of damage down on the Dwarf, but stunned again, taking a lot of damage. The chomp onto Muidar. They're not able to take down Orphea. She can sustain herself as Arrow is trying to get the final one, and he does. He's going to die for it, but he denies the Punisher from Pepegas on Ice. As Arthur now gets out, and that Orphea auto attack heal can be really difficult to overcome if you're not chasing her with someone with some burst damage. So the Punisher comes out, punches a tower, it blows up, punches this tower, it takes 3 whole punches. That's going to put him in a bad mood. He jumps onto Peas, which gives him a chance to put more damage on it. He really doesn't like Leoric. Apparently demons and undead have a thing, who knew? So Peas is going to be left to clear this on his own. The rest of Pepegas and Ice are going to put pressure, some in the bot lane, some onto this camp. They have hit 21st, so now they're daring deny defend Dehaka. Come on out. Come see whether we're as strong as you think we might be. And once again, Werewolf is down to 9 stacks on Redemption. He's putting autos in on Tomgen, trying to stack up against the bulky Dwarf. Sonya up top, desperately trying to get this team to 20 with minion experience. And it looks like, so we have Rewind, Gust, we do have the Buried Alive from Leo, which I would say is almost imperative in a team situation. There's the Silence and Tomb on too. They've also got the Stuka, but the Dragon Arrow comes out and does manage to lock them out. So much damage on Arrow and on Arthur now, immediately blown up by the Tassadar damage. And now Werewolf has managed to refill his stacks of Redemption? Yes. So he's back up to being a full-powered auto-attacker, but again, there's a camp pushing in the mid lane here. There's 5 pushing here. They're down a character and they're down 20. This is a desperate defense for deny defend Dehaka. They are going to lose this keep. Now, is Pepegas and Ice going to go for the finish, or are they going to back off and allow their opponents to get 20? It looks like they want to finish this game. There's 25 seconds left on Orphea's death timer, and Tomgen is just going to hit that core with his hammer, and his other hammer, and his third hammer. Here comes the attack on Sophronia. The W doesn't quite hit that wall, so Werewolf has put that on cooldown. Some 89 stacks, and Raptor's Q is starting to hit Hanzo very hard. 8 seconds left on the Orphea death timer. And they're only halfway to 20. They don't have a chance to really soak right now. There's the stun onto Muidar, and here comes the silence. Muidar just blinks out, but Tomgen goes down, and the Dwarf is dead. Here comes the Dragon Arrow now onto Peas. Is going to drop the silence and tomb onto Sophronia's here. Peas is Eing out, and they're going to back off after taking 28%. No, a catapult's still hitting. After taking 31% off that core. Top lane is pushing back for them. And they do have, or most of the damage on the mid is at about 15%. So I wouldn't be surprised if Deny Defend Dehaka rotates to the mid, takes that down, it gets at least equal catapult pressure in the mid, and they are going to look to invade the siege camp on their opponent's side. And just like that, they've turned around the pressure and they have 20s of their own. The controlled chaos from Stukov on his ultimate, the bunker upgrade, ignore pain from the Sonya, the Eternal Fate upgrade monster within, and perfect agility with the second leap opportunity from Werewolf, although it won't save him from the entombs anymore because those are buried alive. 5 more seconds on Tomgen's death, and there's going to be an Arcane Punisher in the bot lane here. Pepegas on Ice will clear out the Khazra camp. And in the top, it looks like they'd also like to rotate and push this out. No, are they rotating to take the Bruiser camp here? They are. Leo is going to be able to keep an eye on the rotate here, but it doesn't seem like Deny Defend Dehaka has even got a clue this is happening. They're just positioning for the Shrine as they take their Khazra camp. That is going to put a fair amount of pressure, even without the backup, and a big wave is coming. That's going to put a lot of pressure onto that top keep. So they're going to want to win this and win this fast. Flow Foods and Peas are dueling here. There comes the wall. The Dragon Arrow comes out, but it's too much. Sonya is down immediately, even with her survival abilities. Here comes the Black Hole, attempting to push them out. Arrow, that propulsion's out of that fight. Here comes the wall, but it doesn't help, so Sofrenia takes down immediately. Tomgen in here with the Stormbolt. That's so much damage on Hanzo. He goes down. The bunker is dropped, but it's not soon enough to help Werewolf. Peas takes a lot of damage. Arthur now is blocked by the bunker and by the wall. Manages to get out through the bunker. And that's a 2-for-0 for Pepegas on Ice. And with the camp pushing the top lane, this is really putting the red team in a difficult situation. They have to choose what they want to do, but they really don't want to give up this protector because it's going to the bottom lane where there is no keep. Now Lulu using the controlled chaos flailing swipe to protect her teammates from further engage, but Leo is going to finish clearing the shrine on his own. And we see the Drain Hope build here for Leo, so more of a team fight build than the auto build.
Red team's core is under attack.
Pepegas on Ice is going straight for the core this time. 1 more second on Sonya. She's now up, but 13 more seconds on this Hanzo. And they're going straight for the core. There's no hesitation this time. They back off a little bit. Here comes a leap, but it misses! And here comes the black hole pushing them in. Now, there's the silence and tomb. Sonya's taking a lot of damage once again. Lulu taking damage from Sylphrenia. Tassadar just doing damage for free here. The flailing swipes push back. Good stun there by Arrow. Tomkin has to jump out as he takes damage. There's the Gust with the wind tunnel as it pushes back. Sonya, she dies. The red core still under attack as the Punisher comes in. Bunker is dropped by Arrow's Blaze. He's at about half health. They have to choose whether they focus on Pepegas on Ice or on this Punisher. The Punisher stuns too. Lulu's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the jump and Falstad. The dwarves team up to kill Stukov, but Tomkin goes down as well as Blaze. Both tanks finished off. Warmwolf doing everything he can, but with the Punisher's help, the core goes down. That is a win for Pepegas on Ice, and DDD are done, as that is a 2-0 for Pepegas on Ice. We look at the game summary here. Once again, another fantastic mage game from Sylphrenia, as she just manages to keep herself safe and output most damage in game, both games of this set. And again, we see Falstad even being played really well, more utility damage, which is setting up Sylphrenia to get so much done. I think Arrow's bunkers here were spot on time and time and time again. And Warwolf played an excellent Hanzo, but they just started getting overpowered. I think that big wombo combo idea was a really good idea. They just weren't quite able to put the pieces of it together. The few times they did, they would win fights in a big way. But there was just some really, really good play, and it seemed like the members of Pepegas on Ice didn't often put themselves in that big clumped position where, you know, you'd get a big 4-man leap or you'd get a big 3-man blaze stun. Hanzo had some really good arrows, but it didn't end up giving them the position to kill 2 or 3 people, and it just turned into fights that most of the time came out in the favor of Pepegas on Ice. So if you're interested in the builds that these folks played, they are right here. These VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days. They will also be updated to YouTube, or sent to YouTube, and they will be there indefinitely if you'd like to further peruse. I've been Omster. Thank you so much to these teams for being wonderfully entertaining. And that is a 2-0 in NGS Season 19 for Pepegas on Ice over Deny, Defend, Dehaka. And may I say, 2 also excellent team names. I've been Omster. Go enjoy yourself some HOTS.